The Realme GT7 is officially global, and I've been putting it through its paces. This isn't just an update, it's a statement. So, buckle up, because we're about to unpack everything this device brings to the table. And trust me, there's a lot to talk about, including a rather special edition that has my heart racing. Alright, let's get this open. The Realme GT7 arrives in a fairly standard, unassuming box for the regular editions. But as they say, don't judge a book, or a phone, by its cover. Inside, Realme usually gives you the essentials. We've got a nice, sleek, black TPU protective case. Always a welcome addition to keep your new toy safe from day one. Now the charger. This is a 120W SuperVOOC branded wall charger. A beast. However, a heads up, not every market will get this charger in the box. Our friends in the EU, for example, might need to source one separately. It's also worth noting that Realme is still rocking a USB Type-A port on their SuperVOOC chargers, and the included Type-A to Type-C cable looks proprietary with an extra pin. So if you want those blazing fast charging speeds we'll talk about later, you'll need to keep this charger and cable combo handy. Lifting the phone itself, first impressions? It feels substantial, well put together, there's a certain density to it that screams quality. But we'll get more into the feel and design in a moment. For now, let's just say the initial handshake is promising. Taking a closer look at the Realme GT7, its design isn't trying to reinvent the wheel for the standard models. It's what I'd call modern standard. Clean lines, a confident presence without being overly flashy. The most defining feature on the back is undoubtedly that large, flat, rectangular camera island. It's got a differently colored chamfer around it, which adds a subtle visual pop. You'll also spot a little bit of text here. Hyper Image Plus, Realme's branding for this camera system. And lower down, another subtle nod, Graphene, hinting at the cooling tech inside, which we'll definitely explore. The standard Realme GT7 comes in two rather sleek color options, iSense Black and iSense Blue. Our review unit for the standard model is the iSense Blue, and it's a really nice finish. It's subdued, almost creamy or velvety to the touch. It's sophisticated enough for a business meeting, but still has a bit of personality. But hold on, because Realme has truly outdone themselves this year. They also have a limited Realme GT7 Dream Edition, and this one was co-designed with the legendary Aston Martin Aramco F1 team. And let me tell you, it is a thing of beauty. It features that iconic signature racing green color, and I have to say, I absolutely love this color. It's deep, it's rich, it just screams performance and luxury. This Dream Edition also boasts an engraved silver wings badge, a direct nod to Aston Martin's heritage. It's not just a phone, it's a collector's item. The exclusive packaging for this edition is also special, including a custom silver wing phone case and a rather cool F1 race car-shaped SIM card pin. It's clear a lot of thought went into this collaboration, and for F1 fans or anyone who appreciates exquisite design, this Dream Edition is seriously tempting. Now, back to the general build for all models. This thing feels like a tank. In a good way. Virtually no flex, no hollowness. The middle frame, though plastic composite, has this brushed finish that genuinely gives off a convincing metal vibe. The back panel on the standard models is apparently fiberglass, and it's super smooth, almost soft. It does attract fingerprints, as many matte finishes do, but the blue color does a decent job of masking them. Up front, we're protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 7.1. And this is a big one. The entire device boasts an IP69 ingress resistance rating. That's top-tier dust and water protection, giving you serious peace of mind. Controls are pretty standard. Power button and volume rocker on the right, well-positioned and clicky. I like the little color accent on the power button. The left side is clean. Up top, a pleasant surprise, an IR blaster. Not something you see every day, but incredibly handy for controlling TVs or ACs. Alongside it, a couple of microphone holes. The bottom edge is busier. Main microphone, the primary speaker, the dual nano SIM tray, no microSD expansion here folks, and the Type-C port. The fingerprint reader is an under-display optical unit. In my testing, it's been snappy and accurate. No complaints there. It's not the ultrasonic one found in the Chinese GT7, but this one performs admirably. The front is dominated by that flat display with reasonably sized bezels. Not the absolute thinnest, but perfectly acceptable. The selfie punch hole is also pretty standard. Overall, a solid, well-constructed package that feels premium, with that Aston Martin edition taking the desirability factor to a whole new level. Now, let's talk about what you'll be looking at all day: the display. The global Realme GT 7 sports a gorgeous 6.78-inch LTPO AMOLED panel. It's a billion-color screen, and while the refresh rate is 120 Hz, a slight step down from the 144 Hz on the Chinese model, it's still incredibly smooth and responsive for everyday use and gaming. Realme claims a staggering 6,000 nits of peak brightness. While you won't see that across the whole screen constantly, it points to incredible HDR capabilities. In our standardized tests, we measured a very respectable 578 nits on the manual slider. But flick on the extra brightness toggle, and that jumps to around 953 nits. And when you step out into bright sunlight, the phone can auto-boost to an impressive 1,451 nits. Translation: this screen is perfectly legible and comfortable to use even under harsh outdoor lighting. HDR performance is, as expected, excellent. With HDR10+ and Dolby Vision certification, movies and supported content look absolutely stunning. Colors pop, contrast is deep, and highlights are brilliant. It's also got the Widevine L1 DRM certification, so you're getting full HD streaming from your favorite services. The refresh rate is interesting. While it officially supports 60 Hz, 90 Hz, and 120 Hz, this is an LTPO panel. That means it can intelligently drop the refresh rate way down, even to 30 Hz or 1 Hz when you're looking at static content to save battery. It's seamless. You won't notice it, but your battery will thank you. For gamers, the screen boasts a 2,600 Hz peak touch response rate, which sounds fantastic for responsiveness. However, high refresh rate gaming is a bit of a mixed bag. Realme has a whitelist of titles that support 120 FPS, including popular ones like PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile, and League of Legends Wild Rift. If your favorite game isn't on that list, you might be capped at a lower frame rate, something to keep in mind. Under the hood, the global Realme GT 7 is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 9400e. Now, this isn't the Dimensity 9400 Plus from the Chinese version. It's a 4nm chip. The CPU configuration is potent: 1 Prime Cortex-X 4-core at 3.4 GHz, 3 more Cortex-X 4 cores at 2.85 GHz, and 4 efficient Cortex-A 720 cores at 2.0 GHz. Paired with the Immortalis G 720 megacoulombs 12 GPU, this setup is no slouch. In fact, it's designed to rival last year's flagship Snapdragon chip, the 8 Gen 3. Memory and storage are top-notch too, with UFS 4.0 storage ensuring speedy app loads and file transfers. Our unit has 12 GB of RAM and 512 GB of storage, but configurations go up to 16 GB of RAM. Benchmark numbers are strong, often trading blows with or even surpassing Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 devices in some tests, especially in GPU and AI tasks, according to Antutu. What does this mean for you? A consistently smooth, fast, and responsive experience, whether you're juggling multiple apps, editing videos, or diving into demanding games. Software-wise, the GT 7 runs Android 15 with Realme UI 6.0 on top. It's a clean, feature-rich skin that's very similar to Oppo's Color OS. And here's a huge plus. Realme is promising an impressive 4 major OS updates and 6 years of security patches. That's fantastic long-term support, a first for Realme in this segment, and actually better than its Pro sibling, which is a bit unusual. Realme UI 6.0 is packed with AI features. Some are familiar, like screen recognition, think circle to search, where you long press with 2 fingers, and the phone highlights on-screen text and images for easy saving or sharing. There's also AI Smart Loop, a customizable carousel for quickly sharing content to your favorite apps. Newer additions include the AI Planner. This is genuinely cool. Double tap the back of the phone, and it analyzes your screen content. Say, a chat where you're making plans, and automatically creates a calendar reminder with the time and location. Super handy. We also have AI features in the gallery like AI Eraser and AI Motion to Blur, plus AI Gaming Super Resolution and an AI Gaming Coach for PUBG to give you in-game alerts. It's clear Realme is betting big on AI utility. With all that power, cooling is crucial. Realme is quite proud of its IceSense design, which prominently features graphene. There's a large 4,000 square millimeters graphene layer, sandwiched in the back panel, which Realme claims improves thermal conductivity significantly compared to standard materials. Now, in heavy stress tests, the story is a bit mixed. The CPU throttling test showed a performance dip that's somewhat expected for this kind of powerful silicon when pushed to its limits for extended periods. However, the thermal throttling during sustained graphics-intensive 3D Mark stress tests was more significant than anticipated. Realme makes claims about stable 120 FPS in PUBG for 7 hours in pleasant skin temperatures. While it's plausible for specific games to be highly optimized, and the phone never got unbearably hot in my general use, it definitely got warm under heavy load. This isn't necessarily bad. It means the heat is being dissipated outwards. But for prolonged, super intense gaming sessions, you might notice performance leveling out to manage temperatures. One of the headline features of the Realme GT 7 is its absolutely massive 7,000 mAh battery. That's an enormous capacity, even slightly larger than some tablets. As you'd expect, battery life is simply excellent. In our active use tests, which simulate a mix of calling, web browse, video streaming, and gaming, this phone just keeps going and going, achieving a fantastic score of over 21 hours. This is easily a 2-day phone for moderate users, and even heavy users should have no trouble getting through a full, demanding day. And when it does finally need a top-up, that's where the 120W SuperVOOC charging comes in. Realme claims 0 to 50% in just 14 minutes. Our testing was right on the money, hitting 56% in 15 minutes. A full charge from zero? We clocked it at an astonishing 36 minutes. That's incredibly fast for such a huge battery. Remember, you'll need that proprietary charger and cable for these speeds. Realme also includes some smart battery features. You can disable rapid charging to prioritize battery longevity. Use smart charging so it only tops up the last 20% just before you usually wake up, or even limit the charge to 80%. There's also a bypass charging feature, which powers the phone directly when plugged in during gaming, reducing heat buildup by not charging the battery simultaneously. Very thoughtful. The global Realme GT 7 packs a versatile triple-camera setup, which is a significant upgrade over the dual-camera Chinese model. Let's break it down. The main star. The primary camera is a 50MP Sony IMX906 sensor, also known as LYTIA 700, with an f1.88 aperture and optical image stabilization. This is your workhorse, daylight. It captures solid 12.5 megapixels, binned photos with good detail, pleasing colors, and solid contrast and dynamic range. Portraits are also serviceable, with decent subject separation and nice background blur. You can shoot in full 50 megapixels, but the benefits in detail are minimal for the massive file sizes. Low light. The main camera really shines here. Photos are well detailed, darker areas are nicely exposed, and light sources are generally well controlled. The automatic night mode kicks in consistently and does a fantastic job. Light snap. For action shots, there's a light snap feature promising super fast shutter speeds up to 1/10,266 of a second and rapid burst shooting. Great for kids, pets, or sports. The telephoto reach. We get a dedicated 50 megapixels 2x optical telephoto camera with an f/2.0 aperture and PDAF. Daylight. At 2x, photos are good, offering a useful step-in perspective. Colors are well matched with the main camera. It can be a tad soft on very fine detail like distant foliage, but overall, it's a solid performer. The interface offers a 5x toggle, which is a digital zoom from this sensor. It's usable, but don't expect optical quality. Low light. The telephoto does an acceptable job in low light. When it gets too dark, the phone will intelligently switch to a crop from the main sensor. In either case, results are pretty good for a 2x zoom. 5x zoom shots in low light, however, are quite soft. The wider perspective, the 8 megapixels ultra-wide camera has an f/2.2 aperture and a 112-degree field of view. Unfortunately, no autofocus here. Daylight. Photos are usable. An 8 megapixel sensor can only do so much. Colors are decent, but detail is lacking compared to the other lenses. It's there if you need that wider shot, but it's not a standout. Low light. As expected, low light ultra-wide shots are not its strong suit. They can be usable if you don't pixel peep, with okay dynamic range, but they're generally soft and noisy. The selfie shooter up front. A 32MP Sony IMX615 sensor with an f2.45 aperture. Daylight, selfies are okay. The 32 megapixels resolution sounds impressive, but images can look a bit soft. Skin tones are good, but the output can be a little too contrasty. Dynamic range is decent. Low light. Low light selfies are actually pretty decent, with the sensor doing a good job of gathering light and preserving detail. The main camera can shoot up to 8K at 30 FPS, which is impressive. But more practically, it does 4K at up to 120 FPS and even 4K at 60 FPS with Dolby Vision. Daylight video. 4K videos from the main camera look really nice and crisp. 2x zoom videos maintain good quality. 5x zoom, however, is soft and blotchy. Ultra-wide videos are 1080p and are soft but passable. Stabilization on the main camera is good, and there's an ultra-steady mode, 1080p, that works well but can sometimes cause focus hunting. Low-light video. Main camera low-light videos are solid, though not flagship grade. Same for the 2x telephoto. 5x is noisy and not really usable, and ultra-wide videos in low light are quite messy. Overall, the camera system, especially the main and telephoto lenses, is very capable for photos in various conditions. Video is strong on the main sensor too. The ultra-wide is the weakest link, but its inclusion adds versatility. For audio, the Realme GT7 features a hybrid stereo speaker setup. There's a bottom-firing speaker, and the earpiece pulls double duty as the second channel. The phone even has an opening on the top frame for the earpiece speaker, helping sound disperse more effectively. In terms of loudness, it scores a very good rating. Mids and highs are clear with minimal distortion. It's a satisfying audio experience for videos and casual music listening. Connectivity is comprehensive. You get dual nano SIM support with 5G on both. There's eSIM support too, which is great for flexibility. For location, dual-band L1 plus L5 GPS is on board. Wi-Fi 7 is supported, though it's dual-band, 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz. No 6 GHz Wi-Fi here. We have Bluetooth 5.3, 360-degree NFC for contactless payments, and that handy IR blaster. The Type-C port, as mentioned, is USB 2.0, so data transfer speeds are capped at around 480 megabits per second. It supports USB OTG host for connecting peripherals, but no video output, which is a slight miss at this level. No 3.5mm headphone jack, which is standard these days. So the Realme GT7. What's the damage, and who is this phone actually for? Pricing in Europe is set at €750 for the 12GB, 256GB model, €800 for 12GB, 512GB, and €900 for the top-tier 16GB, 512GB version. Now that's not cheap. This pricing definitely pushes the GT7 out of the quote flagship killer territory it once dominated and places it firmly in the premium segment, competing with some serious heavyweights. The Aston Martin Dream Edition will likely command a premium above these, given its exclusivity and bundled extras. What you're getting for that money is a device that largely delivers. The display is fantastic. Performance from the Dimensity 9400e is genuinely impressive. Battery life is phenomenal, and charging speeds are mind-blowingly fast. The main and telephoto cameras are strong, and the build quality, complete with IP69, is excellent. The software support promise of 4 OS updates and 6 years of security is also a major selling point. However, it's not perfect. The ultra-wide camera is a bit of a letdown compared to the rest of the package. Thermal throttling under extreme sustained load could be a concern for hardcore gamers, and the proprietary charging, while fast, means you need to carry its specific accessories. The USB 2.0 port also feels a bit dated for a phone with these ambitions. Who is the Realme GT7 for? If you prioritize raw power, an amazing display, incredible battery endurance, and lightning-fast charging, and you want a phone that feels robust and will be supported for years to come, the GT7 makes a compelling case. It's for the enthusiast who wants flagship-level features and is willing to invest in them. And if you're an F1 aficionado, or simply someone who appreciates truly special design collaborations, that Aston Martin Dream Edition, with its stunning racing green finish, is in a league of its own, a genuine head-turner. It might not be the quote flagship killer of old in terms of sheer price-to-performance ratio against the very top end, but it's a formidable flagship in its own right. It's a mature, powerful, and feature-packed device that proves Realme is serious about playing in the big leagues globally. This has been a deep dive into the Realme GT 7. A lot to like, a few quirks, but undeniably an exciting entry into the global market, especially with that gorgeous Aston Martin version. Thanks for joining me on this one. Let me know your thoughts down below. Until next time.